the boy nobody believed in. Once, in a quiet working-class neighborhood on the outskirts of a small English town, there lived a boy named Ellis. Ellis grew up in a family that had nothing to their name. His father had left when he was just a baby, and his mother, Marjorie, worked double shifts at a local bakery to keep food on the table for Ellis and his younger brother, Foster. People in the neighborhood looked at them with pity, or worse, with scorn. "That Marjorie's boys will never amount to anything," they'd whisper. "Same old story. No father, no future." Teachers at Ellis's school didn't expect much from him either. He was quiet, often looked tired, and would sometimes drift off during class because he'd been up late helping his mother knead dough for the bakery. But Ellis was different inside. He carried a dream so big it almost scared him. At night, when the house was silent, he would open a battered old notebook and scribble down the same line, over and over. "Greater than one day, the world will know my name." One afternoon, his teacher asked the class to write an essay. "Who do you want to be when you grow up?" Ellis stayed behind after school to finish his words carefully. "Greater than I want to build the biggest creative hub in our town, give jobs to people who need a second chance, and show the world that no story is too small to matter." When he handed it in, the teacher barely stifled a laugh. "Greater than Ellis, you're a good boy, but you need to be realistic. You're from the wrong part of town. Try something simpler." His classmates giggled when they heard. Ellis's cheeks burned with shame. But that night, he went home and wrote that same line on the wall above his bed. "Greater than even if no one believes in Ellis, Ellis believes in Ellis. Dreams that only you can see." Years passed. Ellis finished school with average grades. He worked every odd job he could find, stocking shelves at the corner shop, loading delivery trucks at dawn, and scrubbing floors in the evenings. His hands cracked in the winter cold, but he kept going because he knew every pound he earned helped his brother Foster stay in school. People around him mocked him. "Greater than where's that big dream now, Ellis? You're still mopping floors." Ellis would smile and think to himself, "Keep laughing. My dream isn't for you. It's for me." One day, after finishing a late shift, Ellis found himself wandering into a dusty second-hand bookshop. Tucked between faded hardbacks was a book called Start Where You Are. He used his last few coins to buy it. That night, he stayed up reading every word under the flickering streetlight outside the tiny room he rented. The book said, "Greater than no one else can see your dream the way you do. That's why you must fight for it." From that moment on, Ellis started using every free hour to learn how to design simple posters, run ads for local shops, and help market small businesses. He didn't have a laptop, so he borrowed old computers at the local library. He watched free seminars online. He failed, tried again, and learned. His first chance came when a corner cafe asked him to make flyers. He poured his heart into it. The cafe's sales doubled that month. Word spread slowly. Other small businesses in the neighborhood came knocking. Ellis's nights disappear under piles of drafts and coffee-stained notes. He'd sleep with a pencil behind his ear and new ideas on his mind. One winter, Ellis scraped together enough to attend a business conference in London. He was the only one there wearing a faded thrift shop coat. He sat in the back row, scribbling every word from speakers who talked about resilience, self-belief, and grit. One speaker said something Ellis would never forget: "Greater than people may not believe in you. So what? They don't have to. That's your job." Ellis wrote that on the last page of his old notebook. Years passed, and Ellis's tiny freelance projects grew into a small creative agency. He called it Second Chance Studio because he believed everyone deserved one. He hired people like himself, people nobody else would hire. The agency's work started appearing on shop windows, billboards, and local TV ads. People who once mocked him now asked him for advice. When his brother Foster graduated, Ellis was there, front row, eyes brimming with pride. Marjorie, his mother, was now able to rest more. Ellis had made sure of that, but he wasn't finished yet. He went back to the same school where they once laughed at him, the same classroom, the same battered desks. This time, he stood in front of a room full of kids who reminded him of himself. He held up his old notebook and said, "Greater than when I wrote this line. One day, the world will know my name. Everyone thought I was a fool, but I knew one thing. If you can believe in yourself when no one else does, you're unstoppable. Your dream is real because you decide it is." The classroom fell silent. No one laughed. Now, Second Chance Studio has helped hundreds of people get jobs, start businesses, and discover the power of self-belief. On the wall in Ellis's office, above a faded photo of him as a small boy, those same words are painted in big letters, greater than even if no one believes in you. Believe in you. So if you ever feel like the world doesn't see you, remember Ellis, the boy nobody believed in. He didn't need their faith. He just needed his own. Believe in yourself, and you'll teach the world to believe in you too.